On Thursday night, the manager who will stand in front of the visitors' bench at Wembley Stadium has undergone a transformation. A scourge of referees, a connoisseur of conflict, and a bubbling wellspring of growling, seething rage, the original enfant terrible may be difficult for some people to recognize. Craig Bellamy, in actuality, hardly recognizes himself. Bellamy sits with his head lowered in a room at the Welsh FA's Centre of Excellence in the Vale of Glamorgan, a few miles outside Cardiff, and declares, "I've found a level of peace. I no longer look back. Good or bad, it's finished. Being there is pleasant. I'm giving myself permission to breathe. I used to be internally tormented by the things I did, but I've learned to forgive myself. I've come to accept things as they are. I'm doing fine. I'm a decent individual. Sometimes I could do better, but it's okay." After working with Vincent Kompany at Anderlecht and Burnley and enjoying success as Wales manager, the manager, who is becoming known as an exceptional and intelligent coach, no longer watches videos of himself playing. He knows he wouldn't like what he saw, which is one reason. He regrets everything he did not know, yet he is thankful for his career. The 46-year-old Bellamy was a quality player for top teams like Manchester City, Liverpool, and Newcastle United, but his desire tortured him. Both inside and beyond the clubs he played for, he encountered adversaries and conflict everywhere. His success as a coach has been attributed in part to his man management, which acknowledges that players may make mistakes. Since taking over as Wales manager 15 months ago, he has won 6 of his first 12 games and lost only 2. Telling his players not to repeat his mistakes has been part of it. Rather, he gives them authority. When they don't have the ball, he asks them to work like animals, and when they do, he exhorts them to have the confidence to express themselves. There have been results. Wales advanced to the top division of the competition after winning their Nations League group in November without losing. Bellamy remarks, "I wish I had enjoyed it more when I was playing. It's not right to put yourself through all the stress you do. It's not practical. When I reflect on the past, I ask myself, why did I act that way? Why did it cause me so much stress? I like this, but the truth is that I was unhappy most of the time." He needed the fury. He needed to play on the edge to be effective. He needed the chip on his shoulder. He needed to feel like the world was against him so he could prove how wrong everyone was, I said, repeating the statement I always repeat when I talk to Bellamy. No, I thought, I needed the anger as well. I thought I'd be better for it, but actually, all I did was waste energy. I'd love to be able to have my time again and not do that. All you're doing is losing energy. I guess I was raised in the game to believe that if you moaned, struggled, and played on the edge, it showed the spectators that you cared. Imagine the energy you'd have by not involving yourself with that, not moaning at this or moaning at that. You think you know everything when you're younger, but in reality you don't know anything. As you get older, you learn a lot more, but your body can no longer handle it. But I can impart that knowledge to my Wales players. I tell them before every game that having fun is the most important thing. I know it sounds corny, but I mean it. The outcome may not always be what we want, but I want you to leave the field with the thought, I can't wait to play again, because if you don't, I've done something wrong. As a player, there were numerous times when I didn't experience it. I would be relieved if we prevailed. When we won, I wouldn't have to spend a few days isolating myself and avoiding social interaction, which is what happened when we lost. Being a coach, I think, makes you more composed. I think that coaching helps me become the person I want to be and a better version of myself. And I want to be a kind coach. I never disclose anything to the public when a player's partner is due to give birth, but I don't want you on the team. That's more important. Go home and stay there. Be there when your child is born. There are other games, so don't worry about us. As a player, I would not have done that. As a player, I would have been vehemently opposed to that. My response would have been different if I had learned that a teammate was engaging in that. Do you dare? Not possible. No, this is it. This is more important. I was indoctrinated into Bill Shankly's philosophy, which holds that football is more significant than life and death, and it's just wrong. It's just wrong. Football is just fun, and I think I have abused that at times. What helped me realize that? Life. Being in the real world, acknowledging that negative things do happen, things that can have a significant impact on your mental well-being. I understand that once you've done enough, there's nothing more you can do, but I still feel pressure because I have high expectations for myself. Wales is a major underdog in the match at Wembley. They're ranked 30th in the world, 26 spots below their rivals, and haven't won in England since a British home championship match at the racecourse ground in May 1984. And Bellamy estimates that the Wales team has a combined value of about £160 million when they train for Thursday's match, a little more than a tenth of England's £1.4 billion. Even though Wales has a patriotic Welshman leading their national team, and England has a proud German coach, Thomas Tuchel, he does not aim to disparage England. Bellamy believes that the best man should be chosen for the position. He made the joke that players who were not yet born would be worth more than £50 million after he gave lessons on teammates to control. Back in that room at the Vale, he smiles when he recalls a period of time in the spring when he saw that Bellamy was at Carrow Ellie's 500-seat Court Urala ground, watching a Welsh Cup match between the home team and Conisquay on a pitch he describes as a mud bath, while Tuchel was at a match between Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool. He says, "I've always thought you have to pick the best person for the job, but I understand the sensitivity behind having a German manager in charge of the England team. If he won the World Cup for England, it would all be forgotten. It comes down to this for the fans. Just give us that moment. You have a lot of talent to choose from, and when you go to the World Cup next summer, you are there to win it. It's not the semis and finals anymore. You have to be winning it. Tuchel is an excellent manager. In my opinion, he's the best. You have a very deep pool to choose from, and your younger age groups are winning competitions right now, so it's as if you're this close. You could include peripheral players in the roster and still win. We want the intensity that a game against England will bring. I have to make sure we play the best teams. Could I have picked an easier match for Thursday? Of course I could have, but I want a top match before we play Belgium in our World Cup qualifier in Cardiff next week. Since taking over as Wales manager from Rob Page, Bellamy has received a ton of praise for the impact he has made. Under his leadership, Wales has only lost one competitive match, and that was a valiant 4-3 loss to Belgium in June after rallying from a 3-0 deficit to tie the score. Bellamy's impact on Wales' future extends beyond the field. He works tirelessly to carry on the work that his close friend Gary Speed began. He visits supporters' clubs across the Principality, including Neath, Porthcawl, Wrexham, Swansea, Anglesey, Puyleli, Bangor, and Colwyn Bay, to conduct Q&A sessions, share his vision for the country, and foster the sense of unity that Speed recognized as essential to Welsh progression. The negative things he mentioned? Well, he was remarkably candid about his mental health issues during and after the pandemic, which were exacerbated by the isolation that came with coaching in Belgium with Anderlecht and being away from his family. Life has caused him to talk more and more about big-picture issues, as well as his well-publicized financial troubles, incorrect buyouts, and Bellamy's unrelenting giving to so-called friends ultimately led to his bankruptcy in 2023. However, overcoming such problems has given him a unique ability to help with the difficulties that players encounter, and has given him a sense of empathy that has become a potent component of his ability to bring out the best in his Wales players. I expect timings to be met, but I also expect players to take responsibility. I've made more mistakes than anyone, so I'm not going to destroy you over one mistake, as long as it doesn't happen on a continuous basis. It is not for me to tell you when you should go to bed. Do you know why a player at this level has reached this point? Because he knows when to go to bed. He knows how to take care of himself, and he has had to make sacrifices. Do you know how I can tell if a player is good with the ball? Because if he wasn't, he wouldn't have reached this point. Now it's my responsibility to bring that out. I remember how Sir Bobby Robson made me feel like the best player in the world, and I want every one of my players to feel that way. I want you to believe I'm going to make you better than you ever thought you could be. I need to trust you completely on the pitch, and so I need to trust you completely off it. I think people react better to that. I have to get you to understand how we play, but I have to get the messaging and the instructions right. What people might consider to be minor coaching details can change the outcome of games. Now, if your shoulders are closed, you can't play forward, but if you